Hello, everyone. This is Kristie with AG Takes Over. Glad you're here. Not a dollhouse tour, just going to focus on one room today. So, by the way, like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, but I just want to dive right in. So, for those of you who know, in my basement doll spaces, there's one room that I intentionally left blank. I often refer to it as the room of requirement. It's a flex room. And the idea is to leave it this essentially blank canvas instead of, adding borders and whatnot and really personalizing it, because I want it to be able to be a lot of things, like the kind of room that I would like to have for a few months, but not permanently. So first thing I did was make it a yoga studio. And I had Covey and Lila in there just in case they had any issues that they needed to work out, being that they were both in the same year. And Lark was their teacher. And I had some nice details in there. It always looks a little sparse to me because I don't put a ton on the walls, but it's also always just enough in there that it feels like a legit room, right? Maybe not my most cluttered room, but a legit room. And then the next thing I did was Lunar New Year. So let me go ahead and show you what that looked like. This was today. This is what it looked like because I hadn't taken out anything from Lunar New Year. So at one point I had an additional doll in there, and I might have taken one thing down over there on the side wall. But yeah, it was just a space for them to come together and be celebrating. And if you zoom in tight enough and not pay attention to the amount of bare space on the side walls, yes, it looks like a completed room. And in case you did miss the room tour or the massive dollhouse tour, 1, you should go check it out. 2, I'll just give you a very, very quick overview of some of the foods and some of the decorations and the girls in these pretty dresses, because they're not going to be in them too much longer. Now that I am taking this room apart, I'm sure I will put their outfits away at the same time that I put all these goodies, foods, and decorations away. So yeah, that is the current status of the room. And I want to turn it into a craft room now. So clear everything out. Start putting things in. This is kind of the base. I just wanted to get a general sense of where things can go. And then obviously I'm going to start filling them in. Don't worry, I'll go back through and show you some of the things and expand a little bit, but some of it is in hyperlapse, some of it is not. The little yarn things are from Amazon, and then this piece that I'm putting everything into right now is from the World by Us Community Center set. I think it came with the desk. The desk would have worked really well in here, but I also have like a community room and I didn't want to steal too much. The only thing that I bought with the express purpose of having this room in mind was this Our Generation sewing set. And it came with one of the dress forms, this little novelty container and everything I'm putting in it, the sewing table, the sewing machine, and the chair. I don't know what it retails for, but I found it for $25 on Marketplace, and I didn't double check to make sure it's complete, but I think it's got to be complete or really, really close to it, because there was quite a bit in it. And I felt like $25 was a really fair price. It was nice. It took a good 45 minutes to get there. And I took my 4-year-old with me. And then she had to pee. And I feel so awkward asking someone, can I come into your home? Because it's a porch pickup. But the woman was very understanding. And I think people tend to be when you say, can my 4-year-old come in to use the restroom rather than can I come in? Because, their bladders can't just agree to hold it. Anyway, the older daughter who had outgrown the sewing set was in there. And I said, was this your stuff that you outgrew? And she said, yeah, I'm excited to see it get passed on, which I thought was really cute. Little did she know this was more for me than the 4-year-old that I had in tow. But whatever, we'll all get to use it. Um, Everything else, like the paper that I put on that shelf, is just paper that we had and I grabbed and cut up. Oh, that little bolt of fabric. The denim with the hearts came with our generation set. I don't know if it came with it, but it was given to me. And I don't even remember, give me a second, it'll get down low enough. I don't even remember where we got this. It just came in a random lot. But I had it in Z's desk and I was like, oh yeah, let me go steal that. That's a fun thing that should go in a crafting space. So we'll tuck that in. But all the little fabric scraps, the beads, these containers that I put some extra beads in, these were all just things that we happen to have because we are crafters. So a lot of it I was able to just find around the house. Literally the only thing that I paid extra money for to create this room was the sewing set. So about $25 to take this from the Lunar New Year celebration to what you're seeing it become. All right, and moving over to the right wall. I had the yarn in this basket, but since I wanted to put it on the shelf, I just grabbed some more scraps of fabric, and I keep remembering more things came with that set. That little pattern came with the sewing set. So yeah, it really was a lot for $25. And then the dress form that's in the corner there. This is from the Disney Illy collection. It is Rapunzel themed, but I'm not going to have the lizard side showing, so I'll just put that up against the wall. We typically keep this in the community center room with some of the World by Us collection and Z Yang's desk, but I figure I can borrow it. And then I will show you all the little things it comes with. These 2 canisters of glitter, if you think about it, are pretty darn large. That's like an industrial size stack or an industrial size tub of glitter. But on the bottom, I guess it makes more sense not to show the Rapunzel side, unless our dolls are just Disney fans. Our crafters are just Disney fans. And then there's a little caddy that goes on the top with some glue and a couple different things of paint. I know it's going in and out of focus every once in a while. I appreciate you being understanding of me being a human. And my camera, it's kind of hard to tap it and make it go into focus when I have both hands full. There we go. The height of that is nice because it matches up with the height of the sewing desk. So that feels consistent. Oh, and by the way, I made this in Canva and just took something out of a frame that I already had. I'm trying to indicate to you that I'm going to put it on that back wall, but you'll see it. The tiny little dress form is rainbow high or shadow high or something, and our friend Robin gave it to us. And obviously it's tiny, but I said if the dolls were making clothing for their dolls, then they would need a tiny dress form. So I think it's perfect. I love that we have 3 dress forms in there, all of slightly different sizes and styles. And then I changed out the rug because I wanted it to be a little bit more visually interesting than the neutral one that I had. And then I had this grass plant. Oh, I'll get out of the way of there we go. I had the grass plant in there for Lunar New Year. It just kind of fills a space, and it's nice to have plants where you are doing, where you're existing. Added a candle, a couple clothespins, and then some more scraps of fabric here on the table. I literally pulled those out of the trash. I put a scrap of fabric on the sewing machine too, and it had some threads hanging down from it, so that was perfect. Move the bolt of fabric over to the rest of the fabric in the basket. And here are a couple of close-ups. I think, again, this room always ends up feeling a tiny bit sparse because I don't put so much on the walls, but it always has enough detail kind of in the center of it that it will lend itself really well to pictures. I used a little medicine dispenser, like a liquid cough syrup dispenser, and put some plastic in it and then filled it with scraps, and it's under the sewing table. And it has little threads in it, which I just feel is so realistic. Like every sewing table has tons of threads all around it. So there's the necessary table or the necessary little wastebasket. And then I just grabbed Giselle because I wanted some doll. Oh, that create picture in the background. We just passed it, but you'll see it again, is something I just whipped together really quickly. I didn't make it in Canva. I just drew, and it's just using a marker and stickers. There's the room. What do you think? What other ideas do you have for a room like this, like a room of requirement, if you will? And if you have a craft room, let me know that. What would you add to this one? Keeping in mind that it can't be a lot of things on the walls, but what would you add that I might happen to have lying around the house? Okay, that's it. I will do another video next time I change this room into something else, but I'm going to keep it as a craft room for at least a few months. So in the meantime, take care, subscribe. If you tap the notification bell, you'll know when I upload a new video, which will be within the week. Bye.